Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kurojiri, your resident Synchro and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Now, as we finally kick off 2025 and the first episode of the new year here on the MNN, it looks like it's going to be a very, very quiet week as far as new stuff is concerned, or upcoming hype events, or anniversaries, or collabs. And I think that's something that the community is going to very greatly and very openly welcome, with just how chaotic the last couple months have been, with pretty much nothing but collabs back to back to back, anniversaries and the holidays on top of that. It was a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff that needed a lot of Ruby sources, and even with what they gave us, made it really hard to try to navigate through all that. So I think a break is definitely something most certainly going to be openly welcome. But despite the fact that it is going to be a relatively light week, or even couple weeks, we still do have a couple new things that are incoming to still try to keep people entertained and engaged with the weeks as they progress. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting of course with the gacha banners and who to expect. And thankfully, we only have one brand new model that is joining us this week, and that is a model that we actually have seen previously up to this point as an enemy-only NPC in the story mode featuring Arase, Hisaki, and Gang. That model is SAQ-01 Lilymare, with a slightly new kit of Trip, Armor Drain, Hypercharge Drain, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Pupa. So basically, it makes it very clear that as the next installment in the Succubus-type series in the first in over 26 years, that she's most certainly starting off on a relatively impressive foot with a pretty synergetic kit across the board. So if it's a model that you definitely find yourself appealing to, then it's definitely going to be available to you. But if not, I would definitely recommend taking this week and even the next couple weeks, if I'm being completely honest, and just kind of rest and recoup on your resources. Because, like I said, between December and November, with a lot of stuff back to back to back, this week of being relatively quiet with only one new model is still going to be very openly welcome. But that being said, though, on other thoughts, Snake Queen, who was the model that was introduced last week for Year of the Snake, will still be sticking around for one more week if you'd much rather go after her. And if neither of these particularly appeal to you, just as a friendly reminder, the Zoids collaboration models, all 9 of them actually, including the 2/0 New Century models, will be sticking around until Thursday. So you still got a couple days left to go if you want to pull for them, but this is kind of your now or never final warning and final call before they do disappear. For boosted rates that are going to be sticking up alongside Lilymare to introduce her debut as an officially pullable model, we are seeing a couple of familiar faces from back in relatively earlier days of Medarot S. Those two faces starting us off are ARN0 Hellweaver with a kit of Shoot Trap, Thundershot, Napalm, Multi-Legs, and Nest, and we also have CAB0 Swallowtail with Stealth, Heal Trap, Support Trap, Float Legs, and Holy Grail, who can also meta-change into a Cabaret-type form with a fully completely different kit of Heater, Cooler, Field Control, Float Legs maintained, but changing her leg ability to Charm. So being completely honest, this week, like I said, if really nothing here appeals to your fancy or really stands out to you, I would recommend taking this week essentially as a rest week and a respite week to kind of relax and recoup on your resources, which I think we definitely needed for a pretty hot minute now to kind of relax, since I'm fully expecting closer to the end of January, things are going to pick right back up again to celebrate the 5th anniversary of Medarot S, with I'm fully expecting a new Kabukua hybrid beetle type. Now, for the Fierce battles we have this week, it's going to be an extremely mixed utility group between a lot of male and female types, as you see here, ranging with a lot of different type of skills, guards, ailments, and supports across the board. There's a lot of stuff you could really make good use of here, especially if you're a brand new player. Starting us up on this top row is OWL03 Minerova with Laser, Free Shot, Press, Float Legs, and Torturer. We have SPR0 Blue Corundum with Optic Guard, Press, Beam, Sea Legs, and Brilliance. And SCB0 Kanabunbun with Triple Bug, Multi-Legs, and Spearhead. On this bottom row, we're starting off with PCP0 War Headley with Optic Guard, Double Napalm, Tank Legs, and Heavy Arms. GBK01 Melody Beat with Super Repair, Wave, Missile, Multi-Legs, and All-Rounder, and BTA0 Mekong Narob with Guard Boost, Double Provoke, Sea Legs, and Blow Beat. So being completely honest, we got a lot of pretty solid models here, like I said, especially in the utility-based department based on what you're looking for. Ranging between a lot of defensive skills, some pretty solid legs with good abilities, shooting type skills, utility, or ailments. You really can't go wrong with pretty much any model you pick from this week. That being said, though, I still do have to give MVP of the week to Medarot primarily, mostly for the access to basically a free freeze shot arm, which doesn't require a lot of investment in order to use quickly and easily, especially if you are a new player just starting out. Behind her, I'd honestly have to give a close second to Kanabunbun in this case, primarily because the ability to turn skip with Bug is honestly truly invaluable. You may not think too much about it right away, but that ability to turn skip if you can outrun your opponent really will truly buy you a handful of extra moments to kind of set your strategy in motion without getting crippled too easily. The rest of them are still very solid across the board though. So, Blue Corundum for relatively solid shooting skills and Sea Legs with a healing ability, War Headley for tank legs and heavy arms, Melody Beach with a relatively solid and diverse all-rounder type kit, and Mekong Narob for your pseudo-tank types with Provoke if you do choose to go that route. I would recommend farming all 6 of them just for the sake of having them on hand, but I would honestly prioritize Medarot as best of this batch. We do also have a new Super Invasion that is going live featuring Lilymare herself, just as kind of expected with the new current rhythm and patterns. Not 100% sure what a lot of the rules might just be for this, but it is also worth noting that we also have a number set of event missions going live this week as well to celebrate the introduction of Lilymare. So do be sure that you take a look at that and complete this challenge when you get the chance for those free rubies and the nameplate as you see here, just to kind of add that to your completion. If you're a new player just starting out, don't worry about this too terribly much because Super Invasions don't really go anywhere. Minus, of course, if they're a collab Super Invasion, but otherwise they'll always be there available to you for when you're ready for that extra challenge. Now, as far as events are concerned though, this is going to be a relatively busy week, but at the same time not really, because this time around we have the opportunity to earn several, and as you see here, several of the previous event-only medals once again. So if you ended up missing one or two, or a few of them, or if you're a new player starting out, this is the event for you, because the more medals you have, the more flexibility you have with team builds. So as you see here, just listing off a few of them: Queen, Devil, Dragon, Knight, Shaman, Gorilla, Phoenix, Rex, Ranger. Lots of very solid medals here that can be put to extremely good use. This is an event you really don't want to miss out on. On top of that, we can also earn another previous event reward which has not seen the light of day for a while, and that is GBA0 Chucky from Medarot 5, with a kit of Repair Plant, Double Field Repair, Sea Legs, and Abscond. So honestly, it's going to be a pretty busy week overall, mostly if you're a new player, but if you're a seasoned vet that's been around the block a few times, this might be a little easier going for you. But all the same, I do actively encourage that you partake in this just for the sake of collecting all those medals, especially if you are a rookie Medarotter just starting out. This event specifically, though, will be ticket-based, so bonuses will be stacking per part equipped across the board. As you see here, it is going to be focusing mostly on blue ticket bonuses this time around primarily, featuring Swallowtail, Hellweaver, Ophiuchus, and Yatsukubi Daija with your +3 bonus per part. The Fierce Battles at a +1 per part each. For Medarotters, it'll be for the SR versions of Hisaki and Arase will give you a +3 blue ticket and a red ticket bonus, as you see here, and the +2 or +1 for the other respective Medarotters, as you see here. In addition, we also can see +3 for Lilymare, of course, for the red ticket bonuses, and a +1 for Chucky if you do manage to pick her up. These events are honestly really easy to pick up and relatively easy to complete as well, since you essentially just have to keep farming for tickets until you have enough to buy what you want. And then when you buy all the big ticket stuff, you're basically finished. You don't have to keep going, you don't have to farm for resources, you're basically done, and you can spend the rest of the week doing pretty much whatever it is you want. So do make sure you participate in this event and try to collect what you can, especially given that the Medarotter bonus, at the very least, are probably going to be the easiest to collect on, given that the SR versions of Arase and Hisaki are both also already available in the permanent Metarotters pool. Moving away from game stuff, much like I said, it is a relatively light week as far as Medarot S stuff is concerned, aside from just kind of recapping what they did on last week with the new year, and touching base as well with the current roster of Medarot Survivor on the official channel. On the Project Rising Beetle front, though, we are always looking for translators to assist us with any current projects or endeavors. This includes working on, say, Medarot 4 with helping with translation, or the Reloaded Sai manga, or the original manga, or even helping work on one of the games as well. We would love to have more work with that. If you are knowledgeable in coding, cleaning, Japanese, and have some time on your hands, or if you know somebody that might, definitely feel free to join us in our Discord in the link provided below, or ask around, even reach out to me if you have to. And I'm absolutely more than happy to fill you in with what still needs done, or even get you in touch with the right people so that you can ask them and get right to work immediately. Alternatively, if you do find yourself unable to help in any kind of capacity but still want to contribute, there is a link to Variant's crowdfunding in the link below as well that you could donate to, and we can commission having some of those extra lines of code translated on our behalf, which of course will make which will also lighten the workload on the translators much easier, so that we can see the translated story of Medarot 4 even just a little bit faster than before. For the weekly art highlights here on the MNN, and the first weekly art highlights here to start us off on the new year, this one here by my dear friend Penguin Kotak actually was shown off to me just this morning. He posted this one actually in light of the tail end of the Ori Meta contest that was being shared for Medarot Survivor. But a little bit of a story behind this one is I was actually talking with him, and we were just kind of joking around about some ideas that I had that were thrown at me with my random Medarot kit generator, and I joked around with the idea of saying, hey, it would be funny if you designed a Medarot with a black hole design. And sure enough, he actually did it here with Grim Vortex, as you see. And I really like the approach that he did here with the kind of grim and menacing kind of appeal with the hood, and the kind of 0 or /0 kind of emblems on the chest, the visor, and the hands. I really liked how that came out. Definitely give Penguin Kotak a follow. And as a friendly reminder, he's also the one that designed Musha Beetle, who is the new KBT type introduced in the Reloaded Sai manga. So definitely some great art that you can see from there, and some very creative arcs at that. And this one here by our resident Tagro Chung, who is one of the big 4 Medarot artists for the series as a whole, kind of picking up some requests for some fun little doodles he's been doing for a while. Kind of chibifying models on request that people do reach out to him. It looks like he started a brand new page, as you see here, with a lot of well-known models: Chaparral Rouge, Blossomale, Yatsukubi Daija, Blazer Mate, Amira Magus, Ku Wyvern, and honestly, even with his official designs, I still love this chibi design as well. And being completely honest, I could see someone taking a lot of these, or even a similar design, and making like a and I've said this before in our Discord, saying like kind of like a paper Medarot kind of thing, like an RPG thing. So definitely give Mr. Tagro a follow as well if you'd like to see more of his awesome art in your feeds as well. One other note as well before I do wrap us up here, just kind of curbing toward the end of this quicker episode than normal. I am hosting an art stream on this coming Thursday, January 9th at 7 o'clock EST. I will be working on the final entry of the Ori Meta contest winners here for Project Rising Beetle. I know it's been a hot minute since I worked on them, but, you know, with the holidays and such and taking that week off, never had the chance to kind of work on it, and since I streamed the first 2, I felt it wouldn't be fair if I didn't stream the last one. So definitely feel free to tune in with me on that for just some kind of cozy and chill vibes as I work on that, to kind of talk and hang out with me while I do that and finish out that 3rd entry, which is just as creative as the first 2 winners as well. So again, January 9th, this coming Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Be there, I am happy to have you with me. On the topic of art and such, though, one final note, I am always open for commissions. So if you are looking for a live 2D model ready to rig, 3D models with the works as you see here, fully rigged, textured, and the works, or if you'd like to even have standard art or even emotes done, I would absolutely love to try to coordinate with you. So feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or Discord or Blue Sky or whatever your poison might be for social media platforms. We can most certainly try to make something happen and coordinate and even try to put a waybill together on what you're looking for. But With that being said, that does basically cover everything for this week's episode. So, like I said, relatively light week as far as new stuff is concerned, which I think is something the community very openly welcomes and appreciates, as a way to properly rest and relax from how crazy the holidays were pretty much from November onward, with a lot of collabs and the holidays and everything like I said, which I think is going to be very greatly appreciated. But with that being said, if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page or the Metabots Forever community, which is still currently skyrocketing at almost 42,000 members and still growing by the day. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, contests, my weekly episodes, or anything else of the like for that matter. That's the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else across the net. Lastly, you can also follow me on Twitter, Blue Sky, Discord, or wherever as well at Isagamikura if you want to reach out to me or talk, or if you'd like to even collaborate with me. If you're a content creator or streamer of any kind and you come across me on your come across my little cozy corner of the internet, I would absolutely love to coordinate with you. So feel free to reach out to me as well and we can try to make something happen. Lastly, do give the official Project Rising Beetle page on Twitter a follow at Rising Beetle to keep up to date with the news as well, including Medarots of the Week that they've been doing. Starting a number of weeks ago, actually. Just started up again, starting the new week of the first week of the new year. And my friend Kanami Kana as well, who also does a lot of fantastic Medarot art in their feeds. You most certainly will not be sorry seeing them in your feeds as you scroll through on the daily. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. Until next time, this is your host, Kura Itsugami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.